I am telling you something wild. You do not need 40 acres and a mule to keep bees. You can do this on a fire escape in Brooklyn. You can do this on a 10th floor balcony in Austin. You can do this on a little patio in San Diego. The whole point is that bees are not picky about square footage. They care about flowers and water and a safe box to call home. That is it. Now, I know what you are thinking. Bees are scary. What if my neighbor flips out? What if the HOA sends me a nasty gram? Listen, I have been there. I started with one hive tucked behind my grill in Denver, and my neighbor thought I was nuts. 2 summers later, that same neighbor was begging me for a jar of honey for her biscuits. People change when they taste the real deal. Store-bought honey cannot touch the stuff your bees make from the clover in your local park. So let us break this down like we are sitting on the porch with sweet tea. First thing is the law. You have to check your city rules. A lot of places in the United States have flipped the script in the last 10 years. Chicago allows rooftop hives. New York City legalized beekeeping back in 2010. Los Angeles is cool with it if you keep the hive 5 feet from the property line. Even small towns in Texas are putting bees in their ordinances because they get that pollinators keep the whole food system alive. Do your homework first. Call City Hall. Be polite. Ask for the beekeeping ordinance. If there is not one, then you might be the first. That is kind of awesome. Next up is gear. You do not need to go broke. A basic Langstroth hive kit runs about $200. That is less than a fancy dinner for 2 in San Francisco. You want a deep box for brood and a medium super for honey. Paint it white so it does not bake in July. Grab a veil and gloves. I like the round hat kind because I feel like an old-timey prospector. Smoker is optional if your bees are chill. I still use mine because it makes me feel legit. Then you need bees. You can buy a package of bees for around $150. That comes with 3 pounds of bees and a queen in a little cage. You can also catch a swarm for free if you are brave and your local beekeeping club sends out texts. Free bees are the best bees. Now space, here is the magic. A single hive needs about 2 feet by 2 feet of floor space. That is smaller than a kiddie pool. Put it on a balcony, put it on a flat roof, put it on a deck. Face the entrance southeast if you can. Morning sun gets the girls out working early. Give them a water source. A bird bath with pebbles works great. Bees drown in deep water, so the pebbles give them a place to land. Change the water every few days or it gets funky and the mosquitoes move in. Nobody wants that. Let us talk flowers because your bees have to eat. This is where small space beekeeping gets really American. We are the kings of container gardening. Hit up Home Depot and load up on pots. Plant stuff that blooms all season. Crocus and borage in spring, black-eyed Susan and zinnias in summer, asters and goldenrod in fall. If you are in California, plant rosemary and lavender and it will go year-round. If you are in Minnesota, plant sunflowers and bee balm. The key is variety. Bees need pollen for protein and nectar for carbs. Think of it like a buffet. You do not want them eating just corn dogs all summer. People ask me about neighbors. Here's the trick. Be a good ambassador. Give away honey. Put a little jar on their doorstep with a note that says, "Thanks for letting my bees visit your yard." Most folks will melt. If someone is allergic, be respectful. Face the hive away from their yard. Put up a 6-foot barrier like a fence or a tall shrub. Bees fly up and over, and then they are 30 feet in the air on their way to work. They are not hanging around your barbecue. Let us get into the season. In most of the United States, you install your package in April or May. You dump the bees in and release the queen after 3 days. Then you feed them sugar water for a few weeks, 1-to-1 sugar to water by weight. Do not use brown sugar. Do not use honey from the store, that can give them foul brood, and that is a heartbreaker. Mix plain white sugar. The bees do not care about organic at this point. They just need fuel to build comb. By June, your hive should be popping. You will see pollen pants on the foragers. That is when I sit and watch them for hours. It is better than TV. You will do inspections every 2 weeks. Look for eggs. Eggs look like tiny grains of rice standing up in the cell. If you see eggs, you know the queen was there in the last 3 days. That means you are good. Check for mites. Varroa mites are the real gangsters of the bee world. Dust with powdered sugar or use a mite wash. Treat if you have to. I like to go as natural as possible because this is for the Organic Food Matters crowd, but I am not going to let my hive die to prove a point. Sometimes you have to pull out the big guns. Honey harvest comes in late July or August depending on your zip code. If you are in Florida, you might pull honey in May. If you are in Maine, you wait until September. The rule is simple. Do not take honey from the brood box. That is their winter food. Only take from the supers. Make sure the frames are 80% capped. That means the bees have dried the nectar down and put a wax lid on it. If it is not capped, it can ferment, and then you have mead without trying. Extracting is a party. You can rent an extractor from your local club for $20. Spin it out, filter it through cheesecloth, jar it, do not heat it, do not mess with it. Raw honey is the whole point. It has pollen and enzymes and all the stuff that makes it medicine. My kid takes a spoonful for allergies, and I swear it works. Local pollen helps your body chill out about local pollen. Science or not, it works for us. Winter is where small space beekeepers in the United States have to think. If you are in Arizona, you might not do anything. If you are in Wisconsin, you wrap the hive with tar paper, tip it forward so water runs out. Give them a candy board. That is just sugar and a little water mixed into a brick. It is insurance. I lost my first hive in January because I got cocky. Starvation is quiet. One day, they are buzzing, and the next day, they are gone. Check on them in February. If they are alive, you did good. Now, let us talk money because I know some of you are side hustle curious. One hive can give you 30 to 60 pounds of honey in a good year. Sell it for $10 a pound at the farmer's market, and you just made your money back. Add beeswax candles and lip balm, and you are in business. I know a guy in Portland who keeps 4 hives on his garage roof and pays his car payment with honey. It is not a get-rich thing. It is a get-real thing. You might wonder about stings. Yeah, you will get stung. I got popped on the eyebrow last summer and looked like I went 3 rounds with a UFC fighter. It happens. Scrape the stinger out. Do not pinch it. Put ice on it. Take a Benadryl if you need it. If you are truly allergic, carry an EpiPen, and maybe this is not your hobby. For the rest of us, it is part of the deal. You get used to it. The bees are not out to get you. They die when they sting. So they only do it if they think you are a bear. Kids love this stuff. My niece in Ohio calls my hive the Buzz Buzz apartment. She suits up in a little jacket and helps me spot the queen. It teaches patience. It teaches biology. It teaches where food comes from. We are raising a generation that thinks chicken comes from the grocery store. Bees fix that. Urban beekeeping also helps the whole neighborhood. Bees fly up to 3 miles. Your little hive is pollinating the community garden and the apple tree down the block and the squash in the schoolyard. You are basically a superhero with a smoker. The United States needs more pollinators. We have lost a ton of habitat to lawns and parking lots. Your balcony hive is a tiny revolution. Some quick fire tips before I let you go. Do not wear black. Bees think you are a bear. Do not eat a banana before inspection. It smells like alarm pheromone. Do not inspect right before a thunderstorm. The bees are cranky. Do talk to them. I know it sounds woo-woo, but a calm voice keeps you calm, and that keeps them calm. Do join a club. American beekeepers are the most generous people I have met. Someone will lend you a suit or come over when you think you have killed your queen. If you are in an apartment, talk to the manager. Frame it as a green initiative. Lead points, sustainability, Managers love that stuff. Offer to do a honey tasting for the building in the fall. I have seen hives approved because the manager wanted clout. One last thing. This is not just about honey. It is about connection. We are all so glued to screens. Beekeeping forces you to slow down. You have to move slow. You have to watch the weather. You have to notice when the dandelions bloom. That is the first bee food in most of the United States. When you see yellow flowers in March, you know your girls are about to wake up. You become part of the season again. So start small. One hive, one season. See how it feels. If you love it, add another box next year. If you hate it, you can sell the gear and still have a cool story. But I am betting you will love it. There is nothing like the sound of a healthy hive on a warm afternoon. It is the sound of life doing its thing. That is small space beekeeping American style. No ranch needed, no tractor needed, just a little grit and a lot of heart. If I can do it in a 600 square foot apartment in Denver, you can do it too. Get out there and save the bees, y'all. Your tomatoes will thank you. Your neighbors will thank you. And your toast will never be the same.